All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video talking about all the foolishness that's going on with how you've got these so-called black women complaining and crying because Kamala Harris lost, right, the election, right? And they're getting on Twitter and all of these things, X or whatever, and they're making these comments and saying, oh, when you so-called black men start dying, don't start complaining to us. We're going to be happy. We're going to celebrate. We're not going to mourn for your deaths and all this stuff. And they're basically saying we hate you to the so-called black man. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, we knew that already. We already knew that you hate our guts. You understand? What's new? What's new, really? What's new, man? We already knew that you didn't like us before. Like, do you think we're surprised by this information? Oh, you hate us now. We already knew that anyway. I don't know why you're trying to go on like this is some kind of revelation that was hidden in the depths behind books, and we already knew that you didn't like us. We already knew that you hate our guts already anyway. You're the one that actually destroyed our community in the first place. Anyway, you're the main cause of it being destroyed. And you want to get on your high horse and try and make it like her winning the presidency would have somehow did anything to you, right? And when I was actually watching all the build up to where there was deciding all the electoral college votes, if you dumb idiot women actually understood, right, how the process of voting goes, right, why the fuck you saying anything to us for? How the fuck is it? Are we part of the electoral colleges? You fucking dummies. Are we part of the 276 people that Trump ended up getting to make him be decided as the president? No, we're fucking not, man. So how are you trying to get on us, you dumb bitches, talking shit in our ears? Talking shit in the so-called black man's ears about how it's your fault this and your fault that. They ain't the electoral college, you dumb fucking morons, man. Do you even know how things work? And that's why no one wanted to vote for you, stupid ass. You stupid ass women out here, man. In your stupid pride. An Edomite woman tried to become president before with Hillary, and you stupid idiots was thinking that a so-called black woman's gonna be one. Which whether Kamala Harris is one anyway is debatable. You dummies, man. Micah chapter 7 and verse 8, rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. And you women are going to get even more crying and tears than the crying and the tears that you've got because she didn't win. No, you're going to have even more sorrow because we're going to win. You're sad that she never won, but you're going to be even more sad and feeling more sorrow when you realize that the same so-called black men, Latino men, and Native American men that you don't like, that you can't wait for police brutality to happen to them, you're going to be even more sad when those same men end up getting something that you've been waiting for, thinking that you was going to be the one to bringing it, man. When have you women ever shown that you can rule anything? When? When have you ever shown that, man? You're a bunch of idiots. And you want to try and say all of this anger and spew all this hatred towards the so-called black man. And I'm sitting back thinking, hang on, don't these dumb motherfuckers understand that it's based on the electoral college? And how many so-called black men are in that? You idiots, man. But you're up here running your mouth on Twitter saying that you can't wait for men to receive death. And then a lot of you, the only reason why you wanted to vote for a certain woman is because of abortion. And then when I was watching the whole build up to the presidency thing anyway, they were saying on there that way more so-called white people have been voting now than in previous years, that it was up percentage-wise for the amount of men that had been voting anyway. The so-called Edomite men. So-called white men. So how comes in all your anger, you ain't got no anger towards them? How comes no matter what happens, it's always the so-called black man that you always got some anger towards, man? Huh? How comes it hasn't made you realize that so-called white people hate so-called black women? How comes when the whole thing out of this has just pointed towards anger towards the men of your own nation? Why is that? Because you're a bunch of demons, that's why. I'll answer it for you, man. A lot of you so-called black women have got demons on you, man. And one of the videos that I watched of one of the elders, like, some of the things that you men are doing, you just bugged out, man. Wicked as hell. Babylon don't love you, baby. Yeah? Babylon don't love you, baby. Straight up, man. Babylon don't love you. And for all you 2/3 Jakes that are celebrating Trump winning, Babylon don't love you neither. Right? Babylon don't love you either, man. And it don't love me. It don't love none of us. Micah chapter 7 and verse 9, I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. How many of you women have got that mindset? Oh, she didn't win because we're proud. We was being proud. How many of you have humbly thought that? No. You just wanted to win so that you could put, you already had your choreographed dance ready. That's why a lot of y'all are sad, because you had a dance, you was getting ready to twerk and act a fool. You was going to go to Waffle House at night and twerk in America in Babylon the Great. You was going to twerk, you know what I mean? You already had a twerking, you already had the TikTok set up that you probably had scheduled, you know what I mean? You already had your choreographed dances. You had everything set up how you was going to be proud. You already had the people that you was planning on being in front of them and proud and twerking in front of and all that. With your tongue hanging out. And now all of that had to get cancelled, man. All your pride, all your proud routines that you had set up, all the spewing out of your mouth that you thought you was going to do, got cancelled, and now you're having to humble yourself and sit on the ground, desolate, man. You damn idiots, man. He will bring me forth to the light, and I will behold his righteousness. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her. And that all them videos of them women crying, that shame covering them, because they was gassed up off of themselves, man. They was gassed up. And what if they actually had any sense, right? They'd know that, I'm gonna say it again, they'd know that the decision was made based off the Electoral College. Now, granted, Trump won the popular vote anyway, but if he had not won the popular vote, then it goes to whoever they want it to go to. And they even said, when I was watching the build-up, they said that in the last 2 out of 6 presidencies, the president hasn't been the same people that the popular vote was. So there's been 2 times out of the last 6, I believe it was, that they were saying there's 2 times out of the last 6 that the people voted for one person, but the Electoral College went for somebody else. And when you actually understand the Electoral College thing, it's 538 total votes, right? And you need the 270 is the majority. So those 270 people are way more important than all of those 60 plus millions of people that voted for this person, or 60 plus people that voted for that person. So what the hell are you talking about? All them other people that vote, that if it would have got to 270 on the Electoral College, but by the amount of states that they all had decided to decide the decisions, and it had already met the 270 people, right? Because some of the electoral states have got more people, like New York, I believe, had 40. And I only found this information out this week. New York they get 40 Electoral College votes. Then I believe California was like 54. So just off those 2 places right there, that's that's like almost 100. So let's say that they would have already decided that after 270 votes, it's gone to Harris, but they haven't counted all the votes at every single place on the earth. Don't you know that Kamala Harris would have already won, even though all the people's votes had not been taken in yet? So why the fuck, if you understand that information, which a lot of you men don't understand that information, but if you understand that, why the fuck, when this decision doesn't go your way, would you then start hoping for the death of the men of your own nation? Which, if you understood nationality, you dumb whores, and I've got to speak it like this, if you understood nationality, you fucking idiots, man, you'd understand that the men of your nation are the foundation of your nation. Because as much as you would like to think that you've got the Eve gene and you can just build whatever, no, you can't. We are the foundation of the nation, man. If all the men of our nation die, our nation's done. You understand? If all the men of our nation were to perish, then our nation's done, man. And it's mad that you would say, oh, you hope that we die and all of that, because that means then what would you have been saying when King Herod was looking for Yahushua? What would you have said then? You were in a down wanting to be able to take your children out and that. What would you have been saying during the time when Herod was coming for all the Israelites, trying to seek and see if one of them was Yahushua so that he could get rid of the king of the Israelites? Would you have helped him? What would you have said if Pharaoh came to you in ancient Egypt and said, yeah, when it's a male child, get rid of them? Would you have agreed? A lot of you would have right now. with how your mindset is, man. You dummies. Micah chapter 7 and verse 10, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Which is what you think, which is why you're so passionate about the voting. And then you've even got the men that was on the Trump thing. Some of you mans are overly hyping up yourself off Trump too. Like you're acting like Trump would, if he's seen you in the street, be like, yeah, oh, hey Jamal. I'm an American. Like, mate, he don't love you. Trump ain't rocking with y'all neither. You understand? He don't like you either, man. Babylon don't love you. Babylon don't love you, bruh. Don't you understand that? Babylon was made to destroy our people. And it's been used to put evil spirits on our whole nation that have pushed out from Babylon the Great, which is America, towards everywhere else where people are. Verse 10, then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now she shall be trodden down as the mire of the street. So you women are going to have more sorrow than her not winning. There's way more. You're going to have the sorrow of seeing the men of your nation end up winning, which if you women wasn't wicked, that would be a thing that you'd be hoping to see. You'd actually be hoping to see the men of the nation win. But because you're arrogant and you've got a wicked envy that you have between the men of, there's a wicked envy between the men of the nation and the women of it. You women have actually really think that you're better than us. You really actually believe that when you've been given every single advantage from Esau, Edom, right? And you still whack. You're still through. Esau, for as much as you worship Esau, has he been able to give you your hair back? You know what I mean? The hair where your head top yam out. Has he been able to give it you back? No, he hasn't, man. But you're all praising up him. In the decision where she lost, your hatred's aimed at us. You're making it like our votes are so more, you know what I mean? Everyone gets their own personal vote. So what's your problem? And then what would you say then if it would have been a situation where, let's just say we're in a situation where hypothetically, right, there was a so-called black man running for president and a so-called black woman running for president. What would you say then? What would you say? What would you have said if Trump was a so-called black man and the men of the nation was deciding we're going to vote for the so-called black man, and the women was, would you women say? Would you women have a problem then? You know what I mean? You're a bunch of hypocrites, man. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16. Moreover, Yahweh saith, because the daughter of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking in the midst as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Therefore, Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yahweh will discover their secret parts. And one of the ways how Yahweh is discovering the secret parts of you women is through social media, man, because some of them videos that I saw at the beginning of that elder's video, I'm thinking to myself, why did they turn on the camera and show their face doing this stuff? Like, why did they turn on the camera? You got women turning on the camera with a big shower cap, hood wrap, head wrap on their head and that, looking like Big Smokey from Friday. And I'm thinking, she actually turned on the camera and she's so close to the screen that you can see the layers of her skin, mate. You can see the wrinkles of her, the epidermis layers of her skin. She's got the camera all close where you can see her damn all forehead, no face. I'm thinking, why the hell she got the camera that close? Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're sick in the head, mate. You got the camera so close that we feel like we're in a damn room with you. And you're actually, after the video stopped, then you actually press upload. Now, some people might say that about us with the things that we say, but the things that we say are backed by the scriptures. Verse 24, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent, and instead of well-set hair, boldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. The men shall fall by the sword, and I might in the war. So since you women don't like us so much anyway, a lot of the men of your nation are going to die anyway. You asked for it, right? And a lot of the men of your nation are going to. But it's going to be a lot of the men of the nation that you actually don't want to, that simp for you. And the remaining ones of the nation ain't going to like you anyway. And they're going to be like, well, you wanted us dead, fuck you. Get out of my face. We can carry on our nation without you. And that's another point to mention. A lot of you women that have got all this jealousy and this envy amongst the men of your nation, you got all this hatred in your heart towards us, right? I don't think you've actually really understood yet that we do not need you to carry on our nation. If our nation was catching so much hell and was catching under so much fire that every single so-called black man, Latino, Native American man ran away from whatever lands oppressing us and entered into a new land, right? Let's say Japan or anywhere, an Asian place, and all the women of that land that when we get there are Asian. Don't you know that if we sleep with all those Asian women, that our nation will then end up coming back? But that first batch of them, a lot of them are going to look a bit more, have a bit more of an Asian look to them. But then after that takes place a couple of more times, eventually they're going to end up looking back similar to what we look like again. Eventually. Don't you understand that? But it would still be our nation. The physical appearance would not matter because we have the seed of our nation dwelling within our bodies, and if we can pull it into women. Women of any nation, it's not just nothing special to the Israelites. Women of any nation cannot put what they are into another man, and that man births that. That's not how it works. So if you understand that, you women should watch your mouth, but you don't understand nothing. Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 20 to 25, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. And there's some men that they get bothered and they get angry when they hear about so-called black women being spoken this way. And even that is a sign that men are more righteous than women, because the men of our nation, they actually have more mercy in their heart towards the women, because they'll understand that, okay, there's some women that aren't this and that aren't that. But when it comes to you women saying things about us, you just throw all of it in the same packet, man. You ain't got no kind of love in your heart for the men of your nation. It's disgusting. You ain't seen no other women running their mouth saying that, trying to tell the men how to vote. You know what I mean? I ain't seen no videos of the so-called white woman telling her man how to vote, saying, "Oh, vote for this." If any of you vote for that Harris, you should be ashamed to call yourself a white man. I ain't never seen no videos like that. You know what I mean? Because there was so-called white men that would have voted for Harris, right? Did any so-called white woman get on the video and say, "Oh, how can you call yourself a white man and you're voting for that Indian, ethnically Indian or ethnically black woman?" They never got on the video saying that, but you black women ain't got a problem saying that to us though. You ain't got a problem trying to embarrass us. But if someone can see a video like that, then say it. But that's a good point to mention, right? You got all these so-called black women getting on videos on TikTok, bunning out the so-called black man for voting for so-called white man, right? As if their vote matters. 270 people, literally 270 votes matter than all those millions of votes that you people did, and you think that your vote matters? How many people voted for Trump? The numbers would be out there. And the last time I saw the numbers, it was around like 67 million. But 270 votes from the Electoral College are more important than all of those votes. And you got women complaining. But anyway, back on the point of how I ain't seen no videos of the so-called white woman telling so-called white men that they are not real men, or that they are not white men, and that they should be ashamed of themselves because they voted for Kamala Harris. I ain't seen that. You know what I mean? But there's plenty of videos of so-called black women saying that to just their men. Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself voting for that so-called white man. No, you should be ashamed of yourself voting for that Indian woman. How about that then? That's pretending to be a so-called black woman. But then when you see a so-called black man walking down the street with a so-called white woman, you got a problem with it. But then you're allowing her to fake like she's this and she's that. Yahweh's discovered your secret parts, man. And the secret is this, that you're wicked as hell. That's the secret. And that it's a secret that prophets of old knew. And I'm gonna get the scripture, man. There's no new thing under the sun. And the secret that's been discovered is that you men are wicked, but it's something that's been out there anyway. First Ezra chapter 4 and verse 37. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked. So don't think, I don't know what you was thinking that, oh, when she wins, that now everyone's got to bow down to you because you're president as well. You're joint heirs. Do you know what I mean? That's what that's what you Israelite women thought, and that y'all was joint heirs with Kamala Harris. That you was joint heirs with her kingdom, and that. Is that what you thought you was gonna do? That she was gonna invite y'all to the White House and y'all was gonna be twerking and sipping champagne, stick it twerking. Nah. That's not what's gonna be happening. In fact, regardless of who won that, what's gonna be happening is wars getting ready to take place on the earth. That's what's getting ready. They're gonna start changing the way how people spend money. It's gonna be more and more cashless. That's what's getting ready to happen. And certain things that I've been looking into, they actually are gonna start hitting you women where it hurts, man. And good. Because since you women have had the liberty to do things, all you've did is shown why you shouldn't have the liberty. Since you women have been given liberty to be able to gather abroad and do things, it's been shown why you shouldn't have it. And why the Bible says, watch over the women, man. And don't marvel if she trespass against you. And that's why we ain't shocked. I wasn't shocked by any of them videos where I heard you women saying that stuff. Because we already know how you stay already. We already know what you're working with out here. You can't stand us. You hate our guts. We already know you hate our guts, man. It's not a surprise. The only surprise is that you didn't know that we knew it. Wine is wicked. The king is wicked. Women are wicked. And all the children and men are wicked. So everyone's wicked. Apart from Yahweh Shai and Yahweh. So voting, oh, I'm going to vote for this, but it don't matter. They're wicked anyway. And such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. With her there is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she doeth the thing that is just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things, and all men do well like of her works. And let me read this scripture, man. First Ezra chapter 4 and verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. And you women are getting mad that that's not working no more, man. Because the men stood on their own thing and voted for whoever they wanted to, which it doesn't matter anyway. But if a man did decide that, you know what, I was going to vote for that person, but since my woman tried to tell me who to vote for, you know what, I'm going to vote for who I want to, I'm going to vote for the other person just to let her know she shouldn't tell me nothing. That would be good. Because you women need to start watching your mouths, man, and watch who you're talking to out here, man. You need to watch who you're talking to. That's what you don't seem to understand. You need to mind your mouth who you're talking to out here, man. Because you're running up your mouth. But the people that you're running up your mouth to will be your first line of defense when all hell breaks loose. But since you wanted to talk down to them and treat them like garbage, you ain't going to have a line of defense. You're going to be the first line of defense, man. And all the fighting that women think you got, and all your aggression when you're talking down to customer service in restaurants, in hotels, in different places, that's not going to work in the time to come. You ain't going to be able to use no black woman sass. You ain't going to be able to black woman sass and twist your neck, act like you got a problem with your neck, where your neck's swinging and swaying from one side to the other. That's not going to work in the time to come. Because when all hell breaks loose and people's power's in their own hand, all of that talking that you do, all that attitude, you better be able to do something physical too with that. Something physical is going to have to be required to back that up. All that talking, you're going to have something physical to back that up. It's going to need some hands to back all that talking up, man. And if you ain't got the hands, well, it's not going to go well for you. Simple as that, man. Verse 27, many have also perished and have erred and sinned for women. But you women now, it's not working as much no more. Because men are starting to realize that, why am I going to listen to this woman that's a complete degenerate herself? I'm not going to listen to anything she's got to say. I don't care what she's got to say. And that's why the men are going and doing it or voting for whoever they want to, which it don't matter again, like I said. But they're doing what they want to do, man. And they ain't allowing you women to try and tell them nothing no more, man. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And there's one particular thing that I saw in regards to child support, right? I saw this document and it was talking about things to do with child support. And it was pretty much going into, and I hope they do it, man. Because you women have used that as a weapon, man. You women have used that like a bow and arrow to pierce the hearts of men, right? Including men that are Israelites, man. And there's stories that they've mentioned about how it goes with that in Babylon the Great and stuff like that, and how you men have just rinsed out man's pockets, man. Just being demons. And it was pretty much going into things how they're going to track it. They've got plans to where they're going to try and track that digitally to see if women are, so that when women are trying to say they didn't get this amount of money and didn't get that amount of money, they're going to actively track exactly every single transaction, man. Which that's all really, they're pretending like it's for the benefit of people, but really it's to try and bring forth digital identifications, right? But it's going to attack you women where it hurts, man. So you women can't run around trying to, you know what I mean? And you women wasn't really prepared for what would have happened if she would have won anyway. I don't think you actually understood what would have probably happened to people that same day if she won. I don't think you actually understood what was going to happen. You wouldn't have had time to turn on Twitter and start twerking. You wouldn't have had time to, man. And it's lucky for you all that Yahweh decided to postpone that kind of time for later on. He decided to postpone that kind of wrath that Esau was going to get ready to bring. You know what I mean? And it's my personal opinion that a lot of women are going to start acting like demons even more now, because out of their anger for not winning that, right? When it's funny because I watched the last speech of that woman, right, Harris, and she basically just said, "Oh, I'm accepting I'm accepting the decision and help and aid in this peaceful transaction, in a peaceful transition. I mean, so she's over it because she already knows anyway. Like, well, I guess the tops of our thing decided that it'd be better for him to be the face of it all instead of me, which is right. For all the things that they're getting ready to do on the people, his face is the best face to use to make these people accept that all that madness that they're going to do, man. Which he's going to do a lot of madness. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So you men have got to be getting ready for this. Never mind who won the vote. And all you men that are getting gassed up off yourselves as well, thinking that you've found some kind of secret knowledge, like you found a hidden book in the Bible or something like that, that tells you some special word that you're meant to say that gets you salvation. You men are going on like that. You're actually going on like that's going to happen. And fair enough, like people are going to see the economy change, right? The economy is going to change. It's going to seem like, man, it really is being built back. Yeah, it's going to be great again. It really is going to be great again. Look at how everything, the markets are changing. The market, oh man, everything's green. Everything's bearish, not everything's bullish, not bearish. All right, fair enough. And you'll go and make some money in the short term. Fair enough. Congratulations. Spend your money. Do whatever you're gonna do, man. Fair enough. All right. Congratulations, right? But the end result is still gonna be that Babylon the Great ends up getting destroyed. The end result of all that American pride is gonna be that Babylon the Great gets destroyed, and him being the president is gonna further make people start looking not only at American politicians strange, they're going to look at the people of America. Because a lot of people are like, man, that guy is winning and they're looking like he's a criminal. But then they're having to acknowledge that, okay, but the people voted for a criminal. So then the people of that place are criminals themselves. And if we was to end up getting rid of that whole place, if we decide ever to actually attack that place with the worst weapons on the earth, it wouldn't be that bad. Because the people don't have any morals that we can see to speak of. You know what I mean? And they're going to see the things that that have legalized over there, the hypocrisy. And they're going to be like, well, you know what? It wouldn't be that bad if we do get rid of that place, because the place ain't got no morals, codes to speak of anyway. They're selfish. They don't want to spread. You know what I mean? They're all about their own agenda. They've made sure that their land has always been peaceful, while all of our lands have been catching hell. And it's going to start making people look at that country like that is a problem. And they're not just going to be looking at it like a problem from, the stage of the politicians and all that and the rules. No, they're going to start looking at it from the stage of the people too. And they're going to remember interactions that they've had with Americans. And remember that, man, an interaction with an American, they've got a certain level of pride that leaves a bad taste in your mouth. It leaves a stench when they leave. And it's going to bring a hatred and anger towards Americans in general. Babylonians, Babylon the Great, and all their wine, man. But you people are crying about who people voted for. If you people really understood what was going to happen to that country, America, that you live in, you wouldn't be thinking about stuff like that. And Yahweh decided that was who was going to win. But none of y'all think spiritually, though. All the elites that they think that, oh yes, we decided to cast in, and we made this person. No, Yahweh decided that you was going to choose that person. You never made that decision for yourself. Yahweh decided it. So even they're arrogant themselves. Let's get this scripture. Job chapter 12 and 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver his. So all you people that have been deceived, oh man, yeah, Trump's won. Yeah, man, it's gonna, you know what I mean? Well, your Yahweh's and the deceiver that he's gonna use to deceive your ass, he's Yahweh's too. Yahweh made all you people decide in the electoral college level to choose Trump. You never did it. You never did it. I know you're thinking you did, but you never. Yahweh decided to make you do that. Just like how he made you make the ICBMs, he's going to make you make the cashless system that you're trying to push. He's going to make you bring the charagma. He's going to make you fulfill Revelation 13, verse 16. And then he's going to make the elect of the nation of Israel fulfill Revelation 20 and 4. But y'all don't know nothing about that because your own arrogance and pride has made you think that you've got your own free will, man. And let me say this as well to all you wicked Edomites out there. Pharaoh of Egypt, his wrath led to his destruction, man. So all this stuff that you're getting ready to try and do to the Israelites, just know that Pharaoh's wrath led to him getting destroyed. Just remember that, man. When you're getting ready to do everything you're going to do, just remember that Pharaoh's wrath led to him getting destroyed, man. Just remember. Daniel chapter 5, verse 21. And he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beasts, and his dwelling was with the wild asses. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till he knew that the Most High power ruleth in the kingdom of men, and that he appointeth over it whomsoever he will. And as I was thinking about that scripture, yeah, that reminds me of Esau, which this didn't happen to an Edomite. This happened to Nebuchadnezzar, but in another sense, it did happen to Esau, man. But this scripture was not fulfilled by Esau. I'm on about, like, it did happen to Esau with the wild men thing that the apostles and the brothers and the elders have been bringing out recently. That sounds like the wild men thing. You know what I mean? Which this is what happened to Nebuchadnezzar, but it happened to Esau to a certain degree as well in the future, from which this is not what the scripture is talking about. I'm not saying that Daniel 5 and 21 is talking about what happened to Esau, but Esau did grow crazy hair and start looking like a wild animal too, man. And that's what happened to Nebuchadnezzar in times past. But the point of me reading this scripture anyway was that it said that God gives the kingdom of men into who he wants, right? So he gave it to Trump right now again. He gave it back to Trump. And Trump's going to be going around the earth doing them crazy handshakes where he grabs man's hand and drags them in and that. He's going to be buoying up man if they try and walk in front of him. He's going to grab them and drag them behind and pull them back and all that. He's going to be going around acting a fool. But people this time ain't going to be, you know what I mean? It's a bit different now. There's a war that's been going on now that he ain't really been having a say in how it goes. So the mindsets of people are different. The mindsets of people are different, man. And you people, man, you people are funny, man. You're really funny. And you so-called black women, you like to pick and choose when you want to talk about color as well. And that's one of the points that the elder beautifully made, man. That a lot of you so-called black women, when you hear Hebrew Israelites talking, you want to say, oh, God loves everybody. Well, then that would mean that he loves Trump too. So why do you care that your man voted for a so-called white man instead of a so-called black woman? Considering when a Hebrew Israelite is bunning out Esau, y'all are talking about there's neither Jew nor Greek. You know what I mean? So how comes there's neither Jew nor Greek that? How comes y'all then there's neither Jew nor Greek? There's neither bond nor free. There's neither male nor female. How comes you didn't say it doesn't really matter that Trump's a so-called white man? We're all Americans at the end of the day. How come you never said none of that? How come you wanted a classification based on gender to decide? How comes? Exactly. Hypocrites y'all are, man. It's sickening. The hypocrisy of you women is actually disgusting, man. It's actually disgusting. And you so-called black women, I don't know what was making you think that they was going to vote for her when they never voted for a woman of their own nation. An Edomite woman went for president before, and she never won. So what was making you think that you was going to? Which, whether Kamala Harris is an Israelite woman or not, is debatable. But you all thought she was. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 10, many days and years shall be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the present fears, for the fruit of vine. And based on some of the things that I've saw, which I'm not going to mention in this video, but based on some things that I've been reading briefly, like trying to read something a little bit on and off and that, searching for keywords inside of a certain thing that I've been reading, man. A lot of you women potentially are going to start catching hell during this next so-called 4 years and all that, which I hope that we all hope as Israelites that Yahweh don't do none of that. That he don't make things last that long, man. But it goes the way Yahweh wants it to go, not our way. A lot of you are going to catch hell. Anyway, let me read this. Because you even said that you want us to perish, right? Well, that you're going to get your wish, and then we're going to see what's going to happen to you when you ain't got no hiding place. Which a lot of the men ain't going to be a hiding place for you anyway now, because you've been demons, man. You've been such proud people running your mouth all around town. Just acting like you're just so virtuous and that you was going to be joint heirs with Harris. You know what I mean? Like she was going to, like Harris had 144,000. So I mean, y'all acting like like Harris had 144,000, 12 tribes from each of the 12 tribes of the Shetriarch Niner. You know what I mean? And that y'all was gonna, I'm a black Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Shivai. You know what I mean? I'm from the tribe of Herda. You know what I mean? I'm from the tribe of Hernassa. You know? I'm from the tribe of Hersha. You know what I mean? I'm a Hershia, Hershiarite, a Shiarite. You know? Anyway, forget all that. Forget all that, man. But I just think it's funny. Like it's mad. You was going on like Kamala Harris had a great 144,000 and a great multitude of women that was all gonna get crowns upon their head when she won. You acting like Harris was prepared to be a sacrifice for y'all sin or something like that. The hell's wrong with you? She was only gonna do what every other president ever did anyway. Stand up in front of everyone and tell them why I can't do the things that I said I was gonna do when I was running for your vote. And I'm doing the things that the electoral college people that run all of that kind of scene, behind the scenes that you don't even know who them people are. And I'm going to do what they want me to do. I'm going to do what agenda we had written in years before this voting system was even taking place. I'm going to do that. But thanks for the votes. You know what I mean? Which didn't matter anyway. Thanks for all voting, which didn't matter anyway. 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn having no husbands. The daughters shall mourn having no helpers. So all you been saying that, oh, you wish that we this and we that and we perish in that. Well, you're gonna get your wish. There's gonna be plenty of men perishing all around you, and the men that remain, they're not gonna be trying to be no simps to try and pay all the bills and saying, yeah, you're not a real man. You're only a real man if you have one woman. Which let me talk about that point that I've heard that some Israelites are saying where you're a real man if you only got a one woman. If you want to really make that be the standard of you being a real man, I think you better be careful, because we're going to be immortals in the kingdom of heaven. So if you want to try and put that oppression on your own self in the kingdom of heaven, you're being a fool, bruh. You're being a fool and you're showing a lot of pride, because in the kingdom of heaven, then, what are you saying then? That you're not a real man if you have more than one wife, when you're going to be immortal. And you're going to be that one brother then in the kingdom of heaven that's having one child a year. You're having one child a year, but you see another one of your fellow Israelite brothers that got beamed up and ended up entering into the kingdom with you, and he's having 300 children every year, and you're with your over-righteous, self-righteous self having one child a year. So after 2 years, he's got 600 children. But after 2 years, you got 2 children. And after 3 years, he's got 900 children, and you got 3. After 4 years, he's got 1,200 children, and you've got 4 children. After 5, he's got 1,500 children, right? And you've only got, 5 children? And by a decade, yeah, he's got what? 3,000 children, and you've only got 10 children, because you was being over-righteous, wanting to have a child a year. Oh, and then now you're realizing that, hang on, my fellow Israelite brother that I knew him in the old world, he's got 3,000 children, and he's starting to look like a nation. But me, with my over-righteous self, I got 10 children and 1 wife. And I've saw plenty of other women that want to have children with me, right? And that my wife's actually down with it as well, because she's under the new covenant. But because I said in the old world that you're not a real man if you only have one, and if you have one wife, you're only a real man if you have one wife. So now I've got because I was over just talking up my mouth now, and I'm gonna still be arrogant and proud and still stay with that. No, you're not gonna do that, are you? You're gonna have multiple wives, so stop being over righteous with yourself, man. Now, if you want to say now men shouldn't have it, then fair enough. But don't try and say that that's what makes you a real man, because that's stupid. Because in the kingdom, you as well are gonna have more than one wife. Don't try and lie. Because there's more than enough women right now on the earth that you'd think are super beautiful. So how much more in the kingdom of heaven? You know what our women of our nation, as much as I bund out the women of our nation right now in this video, do you know what they're going to look like? Have you actually imagined what they're going to look like in the kingdom of heaven? And that they're not going to be wicked as well, which is the most beautiful thing that we can wait for. And that's a silver lining in this video, if you women have been able to stomach hearing all the rest of it. In the kingdom of heaven, you're going to be beautiful above all other women, inside and out. Right? Inside and out. But you as well are going to have to go through things, man. You're going to have to realize that the world ain't going to go the way you want it to. And let this Harris not winning be a thing that's let you women know that actually, yeah, you have to go through some things too, man. You ain't going to get the world going in your favor neither. Just like how we ain't as men. Us as men, we get told right now, you can't have multiple wives. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do... If you're not a real man unless this, you're not a real man unless that. If you ain't paying every single bill, you ain't a real man. If you ain't this and that, you ain't a real man. If you ain't got a crazy physique, you ain't this. If you ain't that, you ain't this. If you ain't got this, you ain't that. So why can't you be told some things about yourself too? And made to look at yourself in the mirror? As men, we always get made to have to look at ourselves in the mirror and realize, man, I'm still wicked here. Man, I'm still wicked there. Man, I need to change this about myself. Man, I need to change that about myself. But you women was hoping that Harris would win, that you could think that there ain't nothing wrong with you when it wouldn't have been anything that affects your life anyway, really. Because if it was, then okay, you so-called black women believe that Barack Obama was a so-called black man like how we are, right? What did that do for us? Did that make our stock go up in the world to where we just would end up floating on angels' wings when he won? No, it didn't. Nothing happened. Nothing happened, man. So get your head out of your behind and recognize that the only way out of this is through Yahweh Shai. Just know that. Don't start getting gassed up over presidencies and all of this. Focus on the kingdom of heaven. Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 3. Seek ye Yahweh, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahweh's anger, and Yahweh's anger in the earth. So the only thing that we can do is hope that when he brings the anger, that he has mercy upon us in the day of his wrath.